Add Indiana to the states considering similar immigration laws to the one enacted in Arizona last month. A suburban Indianapolis state senator says he's going to introduce legislation if the president in Congress don't do something soon to fight illegal immigration. Now, the Arizona law set to take effect in late July allows police to question the immigration status of people stopped for other legitimate reasons. State Senator Mike Delph joins us now on the phone. Mike, do we have you?
You do. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Thank you for being on. So, Mike, tell me, in your eyes, what would the Indiana law look like?
Well, we've been dealing with this issue for 3 years. For 3 years now, I've introduced a version of a crackdown on illegal immigration based upon a number of different states, Arizona, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia. And you see a trend nationally with states trying to figure out a way to deal with this problem because of the failure of the federal government. We've had administrations in both parties, Congresses in both parties that have refused to do their constitutional duty.
What would Indiana
and as a
do,
result,
though, Mike?
There's real costs that are borne by states.
Senator, what would Indiana do, though? If you had enacted a law, how would it look to you? Would it be similar to Arizona where if they're stopped for a legitimate reason, they could be checked for whatever, papers, what have you, if there's a suspicion?
Well, there's a program called the 287G program, which is an agreement that local law enforcement can enter into with the Department of Homeland Security. That was a part of my original proposal 3 years ago. This whole notion about presenting papers is, and all the controversy around it shows a complete ignorance of existing federal law. It is a federal requirement right now for anybody visiting our country to keep on their person 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the documentation that justifies their legal presence in the country. That is existing federal law. All Arizona is trying to do is mirror existing federal law. And what you see is opposition to it from those that have a different worldview. They believe in amnesty. They believe that we should have open borders. They don't believe in national sovereignty. And that's what this is really about. And to impugn the integrity of law enforcement in Arizona and across this country is just absolutely wrong.
So, Mike, let me ask you a question. So you've got
Sure.
let's say you've got a 1-year-old who was born here, and his parents were illegal. He knows nothing more. He's now 18 years old, and he's driving along. He went to grade school here, high school here. Maybe he's in college. Maybe he graduated from high school and he's working and he's paying his taxes, what have you, because he has fallen under the radar, and he's caught for a traffic ticket. If he knows nothing more, doesn't even know how to speak Spanish, he knows English, do you send him? Do you ship him back to Mexico where his parents were from?
I missed the first part of that. Did you say he was born in the United States or he was born abroad?
Yeah, let's say he was born here. I'm sorry. Let's say he was born in Mexico and his parents fled from Mexico to the U.S. So he's technically he's illegal. But he came here at age 1. Now he's 18. Now he's 25. Pick a number. But he's an adult who knows nothing more than Indiana. You going to ship him back to Mexico?
That is an unfortunate situation, but the law would dictate that he'd have to return to his home country.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Oh, so now let me ask you another question about the economy. It's many who believe that those types of people should be shipped over back to their home countries. And they say because Americans who are legitimate Americans need those jobs that these people are taking. Now, let me be politically incorrect for a second and say there are many people that say that some of the jobs that, quote, illegal immigrants have now, Americans who are born and raised and bred here won't take. So how are you going to fill that portion of the economy if you lock, stock, and barrel ship all these people across the country to Mexico or wherever you say they should go back if they've been here for their entire lives, even if it is illegal from age 1? How are you going to fill that portion of the economy?
Well, I reject categorically the notion that American citizens are unwilling to do any type of work, especially when they're out of work and they need a job and with the unemployment rate where it is nationally today. You know, this is an issue that I've never been able to understand for the last 3 years, how in 2010 illegal doesn't mean illegal, in that we can somehow justify the carte blanche systematic breakdown of our federal immigration system and allow countries like Mexico to game our system and shift social problems to our southern border. I mean, right now we've got a problem with one of our United States, Arizona. They have a problem where they've got military style.
Yes, they do. No, there's no question, Senator. There is a problem. There's a problem with the borders in this country. But you see no possible way to, in any way, compromise and give amnesty to somebody who may have been here for 20 years and knows nothing more.
Well, you know, we tried that once. And you know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over but expecting a different outcome. In 1986, Ronald Reagan signed into law the Immigration Reform and Control Act, where he went to the employer community and said, we're going to hold you accountable from this point forward for knowingly and willingly hiring illegal immigrants. And in exchange, anybody that's been in the country illegally for 4.5 years or longer, we're going to give you an amnesty. And what that's done is that's encouraged more people to come here illegally with the expectation that we're going to eventually throw up our hands like we're apparently going to do now out in Washington and say, okay, we're going to give everybody another blanket amnesty. People do not want that. They want their laws enforced. They want their politicians, their elected officials to stand up for American citizens and American taxpayers. That's what this is all issue and what this issue is all about. And when people start throwing out the racial issue, that's just an inflammatory tactic to throw people off, to get people to feel bad about wanting to enforce the law and to protect their national sovereignty.
Indiana State Senator Mike Delph, thank you very much. I've run out of time because I've asked you too many questions, but thank you and good luck with your law. We'll be right back with the WGN Evening News at 5 o'clock.